have a small discussion about the topic energy. So, I think all of you know about in our day-to-day life, to do any work, we keep doing a lot of work in our day-to-day life, and to do any work we require energy. Energy is the capacity of doing work. So my dear friends, without energy, we cannot do any work. So a work can be done only with the help of energy. For example, in the olden days, today how much the work we are doing, if you just take 100 years back, people have done, physically they have done 100 times the work more than today what we are doing. Today our work have decreased, physically our work have decreased. Because today we are using lot of machinery in making our work easy. For example, at home, previously the handmade grinders were used to do any chutney or anything. But today we are having mixies are there, grinders are there, wet grinders are there. So my dear friends, today previously we used to work hard to wash the clothes and all. Today we are having washing machines are there. Everything is mechanized. Today you can, in the olden days, to dig a well, it is a long process. It's a very hefty task. And today within 1-2 hours, the rig is coming and just the borewell is finished within 3-4 hours, water is coming out. This mechanization have changed our comforts, have changed our life. Our comforts have increased. So my dear friends, in every field, previously to dump one lorry, it used to take a long time. But today, very easily, very comfortably, within no time, the proclaimers are used. The cranes are used to lift heavy weights. For loading and unloading, once upon a time, the people used to carry them at the back and carry the loads. To unload or to load a ship, it used to take months together, 2-3 months. But within no time now, everything is getting finished because we are today using the sophisticated machines. Mechanization has changed the, today our day-to-day life is comfortable compared to the long back. So in all these things, we are able to extract more work with less effort. We are able to do more work with less effort. So here we must get some idea, we should have some idea about what is the principle we are using. Here in the case of a machine, see machine, simple machines are there and complex machines are there. Today let us have some simple machines. See, whether it is a simple machine or a complex machine, it has some basic principles. So my dear friends, let us try to understand. Most of you may be knowing, but even then let us have some terminology which is being used here. So in the case of simple machines, we are having general terms we use is, we take the load, effort, fulcrum, what is a load arm, effort arm, what is a mechanical advantage. In that way we use different terminology. First let us see the lever. For example, there is a huge rock, a huge stone is there. Just there is a huge rock is there. You are not in a position to lift it. You are not in a position to move it. Then what you will do? You just go to a village and see. They are not educated, but they know very well how to move it. What they do is, they will ask you to bring a crowbar. So now you brought a crowbar. Then you are putting the crowbar like that. See, when you are putting the crowbar like that, you can't move. You can't move this heavy stone. It's very heavy. Then another intelligent fellow will be there. He will be bringing one more strong stone and just he will be putting one stone here. One stone here. Now with the help of this stone, just this fellow will be applying a force here. He applies a force here. If the fellow is a very intelligent fellow, he will try to bring a longer one and try to apply the force here. Because the Bring me that nail cutter. Go and bring me. Go and bring me this. Now, my dear friends, you can see this. This is a nail cutter. See, using a nail cutter, cutting the nail is very easy. Here, this nail cutter is having. This is a fulcrum. This is a fulcrum. This is the place where you put the effort. Here you put the effort. Here is effort. And here, this is the place where you put the load. This is the place where you put the load. Load is nothing but your nail. You want to cut your nail. So that is the place where you put the load. So here, in this case, fulcrum is in between and effort is on one side and the load is on one side. Now I think you understood. Now my dear friends, please try to understand. The distance between the fulcrum and the effort is called the effort arm. This is called the effort arm. In this case, the effort arm is more. Effort arm is more. The distance between the fulcrum and the load is called the load arm. This is called the load arm. Arm, you know arm. Right. So this is called the load arm and this is called the effort arm. Now you are understanding the different terminology. Now you came to know what is fulcrum, effort, effort arm, load arm. So my dear friends, now please try to understand. I think now after going at your home, you have many first order levers are there. For example, this is a scissor. In this scissor, this is the fulcrum. This is the fulcrum. And this is the place where you are applying the force. So this is the place. So this is the effort. You are putting an effort here. And this is the place where you cut the cloths. So this is the place where you are cutting the cloths. So this is the load. So my dear friends, this is the fulcrum. Now in this way at home you have many simple machines are there. Many simple machines are there. First order simple machines are there. Try to identify them. For example, you go to a park. Two friends are sitting on either side. There are two friends who are sitting on either side. Try to see. The seesaw is there, sitting on either side. Try to understand. My dear friends, if there is a fat fellow, one side there is a fat fellow, one side there is a thin fellow. So now there must be a good understanding between the fat fellow and the thin fellow. Now, if these two fellows, fat fellow and the thin fellow, are sitting at the same distance, okay, the fat fellow always will be down and the thin fellow always will be in the air. So they cannot swing. So these two intelligent people, what they do is, this fat fellow instead of sitting here, he will just try to decrease the distance from the fulcrum. And the thin fellow will be sitting at that distance. Now these two can comfortably swing. Now these two can comfortably swing. See here. These two children who are very intelligent, what they have done? One fellow is now trying to decrease his distance. Means, I think now you understood. This is called the principle of the lever. Now let us know the principle of a lever. Very important. What is the principle of a lever? So the principle of the lever is load into load arm is equal to effort into effort arm. So my dear friends, this is the principle of the lever. So load into load arm means this is the load here into load arm. Load arm is the distance between the load and the fulcrum is equal to the effort into the effort arm. Effort arm is the distance between the fulcrum and the effort. So that is called the principle of the lever. So my dear friends, what 1 kg is effort. So kg and kg is getting cancelled. Mechanical advantage is not having any units because it's a ratio of two similar quantities. So in this particular case, the mechanical advantage is 100. See, try to understand. So my dear friends, you are able to lift 100 kg weight only with the help of 1 kg because you know this principle. You are trying to increase the effort arm length. So that if you increase effort arm length, you can decrease the effort. If this quantity is increasing, this quantity will decrease. I think you understood. Now we are trying to decrease this load arm. The load arm is very less. This value is very less. So that the product is equal. Load into load arm is equal to effort arm. Now I think you understood what is mechanical advantage. It's nothing but load by effort. Is also equal to, see my dear friends, if you take this equation, load by effort, you bring it down, is equal to effort arm by this will come load arm. So mechanical advantage is also equal to effort arm by load arm. That is also mechanical advantage. So if you increase effort arm and if you decrease the load arm, then also the mechanical advantage is more. Now you understood what is different terminology we have used, the different terminologies what we have used. So my dear friends, input energy and the output energy. For example, what is the meaning of an input energy and the output energy? For example, the amount of energy which you are using is called, that is input. The amount of energy the machine is giving to you is called the output energy. The amount of energy you are putting on the machine is called the input energy. And the amount of energy given by the machine to you is called the output energy. Generally, energy is conserved. Energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, but only can be changed from one form to the other. Very important. In physics, law of conservation of energy is very important. Now, I think you understood. So, now we have seen the first order lever. In the first order lever, the fulcrum is in the center and the load and effort are at the two ends. Now, the second order lever. In the case of a second order lever, simple. My dear friends, if you take a Puri pressor at home, just observe the Puri pressor at home. I think your mother will be using the Puri pressor is there at home. I think you can understand it. See, for example, this is a Puri pressor. See, my dear friends, in this Puri pressor, this is a platform where you put the Puri, you put the flour, and you just put it like this, and you are, see, this is the fulcrum. This is the fulcrum. See, my dear friends. See, my dear friends. Now the fulcrum is coming to one end. Here is the effort you are putting, and here is a load. Load is here. See, this is pushing it down at this point. So this is the load. So my dear friends, I think you understood this point now. So now in this particular case, here we are having the fulcrum is, effort is at one end. Effort is at one end. See, the effort is at one end. The fulcrum is at one end. And the load is in between. The load is in between. The Puri floor is in between. Understood, my dear friends? Now in this particular case, for example, you take an opener. You take an opener. Thumbs up bottle opener. There also you just observe. What is happening, you try to observe. So my dear friends, in that particular case, fulcrum is at one end. Effort you are putting is at one end. And the load is in between. Such kind of machine we call as a second order levers. This also is a simple machine where there is a lever. So the fulcrum is at one end. My dear friends, I think you have understood it. The remaining everything is same. The principle is load into load arm. This is the load arm. This is the effort arm. Always the effort arm is nothing but the distance between the effort and the fulcrum. So effort arm and load arm principle is the same for whether it is the first order or second order or third order lever. Principles are the same. Load into load arm is equal to effort into effort arm. So my dear friends, mechanical advantage is the same. Load by day-to-day life. Now, my dear friends, in this particular case, let us see the third order lever. In this third order lever, the main advantage is, here the mechanical advantage is very less. In the third order lever, the mechanical advantage is not high, but still we use it because here, for example, when you are removing a puri from the hot oil, see, that is a hot temperature where you can't put your finger, where you can't put anything. Here in this case, in this third order lever, a prong, this is a fulcrum. This is the place where you put the effort. This is the place where you put the effort and load is at one end. So this is the place where you have the load. This is the third order lever. In the third order lever, the load is at one end, fulcrum at one end, and your effort at the middle. So this such kind of levers, here the mechanical advantage is very less because the mechanical advantage is nothing but load by effort or effort arm by load arm. Actually, in this case, the effort arm is less and the load arm is more. Mechanical advantage is less. But even then, in the hot conditions, the temperature is very high. So at that condition, where you can't put your hand, so we use such kind of machines. Even though the mechanical advantages are very less, we try to use this machine. So now you understood what is the mechanical advantage. It is nothing but equal to load by effort, or is also equal to effort arm by load arm. Now in the third order lever, so in the second order lever, fulcrum at one end, effort is at one end, load is at the center. In the first order lever, effort and load are at the two ends, fulcrum at the middle. Now I think you all understood what is the first order. This is the first order lever, second order lever, and this is the third order lever. So my dear friends, now you understood what is the meaning of all the three order levers, first, second and third order levers, and you understood what is load, what is effort, what is load arm, distance between the fulcrum and the load is called the load arm, effort arm, distance between the effort and the effort fulcrum is called the effort arm, mechanical advantage, the ratio of the load and effort is called the mechanical advantage, or effort arm by load arm is also called the mechanical advantage. Now let us see the efficiency of a machine. What is the meaning of efficiency? What is the meaning of an efficiency generally? For example, let us have an example. The input and the output. For example, the input, for example, like a student is sitting in the session and the teacher is telling 10 points. So the input is given. Some input is given 10 points and important points are being discussed in the session. There is one student whose efficiency is very high. He tries to take everything. Maximum output you can get from that student. So the output is there. So my dear friends, it is the ratio of the output and the input. So this ratio is called the efficiency. For example, I would like to tell you some more example. Efficiency of a machine. You and your friend, both of you are having two vehicles, two motorbikes. Your friend is having a motorbike which is 10 years old, which is a 10 years old bike which is not that efficient. You are having a new bike, just 6 months back you bought it. Now you are having a new bike with 6 months and that friend is having 10 years back. Both of you are using 1 liter petrol. So the input is same in both. So you have given the same input in both. But both of you are going on the same highway road. But the 10 years old vehicle, your friend's vehicle, is just going 20 kilometers and just stopping. That vehicle is only able to cover a distance of 20 kilometers. But whereas your vehicle is covering a distance of 40 or 50 kilometers. Let us say 40 kilometers. Means the output here is you are able to go 40 kilometers. So your output is more. Whereas the output from other machine, the old machine is able to go only 20 kilometers. For the same input is same in both the cases. Means your vehicle is more efficient than his vehicle. I think now you understood. The Okay, if it is an ideal machine, you will have 100% ideal machine. Both are equal. But generally it is very difficult to have 100% ideal machine. So a person also should try to increase his efficiency. So my dear friends, I think now you understood slightly to some extent. Today we must learn something about machines because today is a mechanized world. So let us all try to gain some knowledge about this. Thank you for listening. Thank you.